A Cedar Rapids man has 14 solar panels on his roof. That's one more than Alliant Energy and the solar installer said he needed to power his home. KCRG TV9's Rebecca Vaughn now joins us live in the studio after meeting with a man who's not benefiting from that surplus of power.
Gary Warner installed those panels on his roof roughly 2 years ago. He was told he only needed 13, but now he's frustrated. Every year in April, his credit balance for sending Alliant Energy power is returned to zero, with nothing in return. On a sunny day like Tuesday, the solar panels on Gary Warner's house produce a lot of energy. His panels create enough energy in a month to cover his entire bill, and then some.
We actually send more electricity to Alliant than Alliant sends to us. That's why we have a credit.
He's talking about a carryover credit where Alliant Energy recognizes more energy was created than used and adds an amount of money to the homeowner's account. That credit can be used to pay for the next bill.
I had, I think, $335 credit.
But when his bill came in April, that credit was dropped back to zero.
And they just have a line saying forfeit, and your credit's gone.
Since installing his panels, Warner's lost roughly $700 worth of credit. It's money he says can't be used in other areas of his bill, like his meter rental.
Why can that credit not be used to help pay for that $13 to $15 bill? It varies because it varies depending how much electricity goes through the meter. But I don't understand why the credit can't pay for that.
And he doesn't understand the point of taking the money away.
Why the credit just disappears once a year and you start over. If I've given them more electricity than they have given me, it seems like they owe me money.
We reached out to Alliant to ask those questions, and we're told this is simply the law. Alliant said in part, quote, any unused credits must be forfeited at the end of an annual period to be consistent with the law. It went on to say, quote, the best way to avoid forfeiting credits is to work with a qualified installer to ensure the system is appropriately sized for the customer's actual energy needs. But Warner just wants an explanation behind the why.
It would be interesting if I could find out what the rationale behind that is. And like I said, maybe the rationale makes sense, and then I wouldn't be concerned.
Now, I also asked Alliant where the extra energy from these credits go and was told it goes back to the grid, which then helps power other homes and businesses. More of their answers to other questions can be found under this story at KCRG.com. I'm in the studio, Rebecca Vaughn, KCRG TV9 News.
Interesting situation. Thank you, Rebecca. Housing construction.